Does your mind ever drive you crazy? The constant thoughts in and out, 3 o'clock in the morning, ping, worrying about what you said, worrying about what you did, worrying about what you've got to do, thinking, trying to solve the problem. And in actual fact, all that thinking, you're not solving anything, you're just draining yourself and not getting enough sleep. Yeah? It's true, isn't it? Yeah, I can sympathise. I'm a overthinker, or I have been. Yeah, but I need to overthink. I need to think because I've got all these things happening. We've all got things happening. That's life. Life is happening all around us every single day. But it's how we approach it. That's the difference. Okay, so let's think of some examples of overthinking. Yeah? Okay, so maybe you have a new boyfriend or a new girlfriend. I am sure a lot of people, when they're starting out in love, have experienced this at one point in their lives, unless you're like me, a little bit older, and you didn't have mobile phones when you were younger. Yeah, you met someone, you're texting, and it's all going great, and then, boom. I'm going to say he, but I mean, you know, any gender. Yeah, he doesn't text back. Okay. So now your brain's going, okay, he hasn't texted back. And the hours pass, and you send another text. Okay. No reply. Then your thoughts take over. Right. Okay, and your mind starts to spiral. The thoughts start to spiral. Have I offended him? Is he ghosting me? What did I say? What did I say? You go back, what did I say that could have upset him? Or what did I do when we saw each other last? Has he gone off me? And your brain is going like crazy, trying to think, what could have happened? Okay, we're going to zoom out. It's my favourite thing to do. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know I love zooming out. Okay. So we're going to zoom out. We're going to go up there and we're going to look down on this little tiny portion of the world. Yeah, tiny dot in the world where everything's going on and we're there. We're going to look at you. Right? We're going to look at you, and there you are in your bedroom and you're obsessively checking your phone. Has he replied? Right? Even though you didn't hear anything come in, you're still going to check your phone, right? Okay, and there are you, then you're going to read back through your messages. What did I say? Maybe I got the punctuation wrong. Maybe that upset him. Yeah. Okay, you're finding anything, any reason. Okay, now we're gonna have a little fly in the air. We're gonna zoom over to where he is. Okay, what's he doing? Right, he hasn't texted back. What's he doing? Yeah, he is busy. Right, he's busy. He is working very hard. He's getting phone calls, he's getting emails. He is just like boom, 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 from here, there, the other. His mum is on the phone telling him that that she needs him to come round later because she needs this done and that done, and he's feeling stressed. Okay? Yeah? And you're sitting at home wondering about your punctuation. Yeah? That's one scenario. Or maybe, you won't like this, maybe he's with another girl. Maybe he's having a great time. He's going having a nice time with another lady. Could be. Okay? So what's the solution? How do you solve this thought spiral that you're going through? Okay, well, what we do know, what we do know is you can't actually physically zoom out and hover above his head and see what he is doing, can you? Oh. Okay, the reason you are getting so upset about this is because you are now not in control. Yeah, you are not in control. He has not texted you back and you are now not in control of this situation, and you want to be. Yeah, but I want to know. I want to know what his problem is. Yeah, but that's whatever he's dealing with, that is it. That's his problem. His problem. Now, he might have decided to ghost you. Could be. He might just be busy. He might be trying to control you. Yeah? All these reasons, one of them will be true. But the difference is you are allowing this thought process, you are allowing your thoughts to get you worked up. Okay? What you need to do, because you can't control the situation, is you need to let go. Yeah, but I want to know. Yeah. But who are you? Yeah? Why do we have to go through life expecting other people to prop us up? We can't do that. Yeah? You are walking this path of life on your own. Like it or not, you are. And people come in to that path and they go. Maybe sometimes they stick around for a while. Yeah, it's ever changing, isn't it? Yeah, they come and go, and here you are and you're walking that path. So you need to learn to be able to walk that path on your own and be secure in yourself and strong. You need to understand in this particular situation that you are an incredible person. Yeah, you're a catch. And if someone is able to see, those qualities in you, then great. Yeah, but you don't need that validation from another person to make you okay, because you, on your own, you are okay. You have all the tools you need to be okay. Yeah? Okay? We there are all sorts of scenarios, all sorts of scenarios. And love is a very difficult thing, isn't it? Yeah? Does he love me? Does he love me? I don't know whether he loves me. I'm going to Google it, okay? I'm going to Google, does he love me? Why are you asking Google? Or ChatGPT? Does he love? How is Google gonna tell you whether he loves you or not? Yeah, but I don't know, and I just, maybe Google's got the answer. Hasn't got the answer, right? You can Google, does he love me, as many times as you like. It's not gonna tell you. Yeah, why do you need to know that? Why do you need that validation? You be you, okay? You be strong in yourself and your own self-worth. Okay, I understand. I get it, okay? I get it. Love is a complicated thing. I'm going to do another video about that. So if you have any questions around what we've just spoken about, let me know in the comments. Maybe I can help you on the comments, yeah? But I understand things are, yeah, sometimes we need answers. Okay, so we can regret. We can regret. Okay, so I remember when my father, who has now passed away, he was bedbound for the last 2 years of his life. And I used to go over I used to make food here, I don't know, roast dinners, puddings, foil them all up and take them over to my parents' house. Okay, because I was then happy, knowing they're having nice home-cooked meals. And I remember making a crumble, a fruit crumble. Yeah, I'm feeding my dad, I'm giving him this fruit crumble. Because he couldn't eat like fruit. He always used to love eating fruit, his apples, plums, everything. He loved his fruit. And I gave him this fruit crumble and he loved it, right? Oh, I love the fruit crumble, Catherine. That was his accent, Danish accent. Oh, I could eat this all the time. Yeah, and I felt really pleased that I'd made him this fruit crumble and he was enjoying it so much because he was bedbound. He had so little around him to enjoy, but he was loving this fruit crumble and I felt pleased with myself. And then after he died, thinking, why didn't I make him a smoothie? Why did I not make him a smoothie? What was wrong with me? Why couldn't I work that simple thing out to make him a lovely, refreshing smoothie? And he could have really enjoyed that. That would have been a great way of him having his fruit and refreshing. And what was wrong with me? Yeah, but you know what? We do the best that we can. We do. Yeah, I was working, get my child off to school, getting the dogs to the park. I'm on my own, rushing here, rushing there. And just that thought had not occurred to me. And now I realise that I was doing the best that I can. We often, when we look back and we go, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that? Yeah, but that's not helpful to us because we can't change the past. The past is in the past. It happened. We did what we could in the way that we did it at the time. If we made major mistakes, hopefully we've learnt from them, but we cannot change the past. So there's no point in reliving it if there's nothing that we can physically do about it. Yeah? Our mind is very good at creating stories. Yeah, it will tell us a whole load of things that aren't true, and we will believe those stories, those thoughts that our mind is producing, and we will hang on to them. Yeah, but they're not real. They don't actually exist. They're just thoughts in our head. Yeah, so say you're at a bus stop, okay, and there's a colleague that you work with there. Yeah, you're at a bus stop, and suddenly a friend of yours pulls up in a car, okay, and it's raining. And your friend goes, hey, you want to come in? I'll give you a lift home. Yeah, great, right? And you rush in the car. Yeah, great, fantastic. And then you get home and you think, oh my gosh, I never said goodbye to my colleague. I never acknowledged them. I never said goodbye. And I didn't ask my friend if I could give her a lift as well. And she must be thinking terribly of me. And we go through this whole thought process, right? And your whole evening now is taken up because you didn't say goodbye to your colleague, you didn't check with your friend whether she could have a lift, right? Yeah, and your whole evening is taken up with all this worry and all this thought and this story that your mind is telling you, and how she's going to think about you, and she's going to think that you're rude, and she's going to think this of you, and she's going to think that of you. But in actual fact, she was at the bus stop sexting her boyfriend, right? She was having a great old time. She wasn't bothered about whether you said goodbye to her or not. But your mind has told you all this. Your mind has told you this whole scenario, this whole story about how rude you are and how upset she's going to be. And it's just not true. So what do? We have to try and detach from our thoughts and recognize that our thoughts are just thoughts. The thought of, am I good enough? The thought of, does he like me? The thought of, is this terrible thing going to happen to me? These are just thoughts going on in your head that you are telling yourself. Extract those thoughts, yeah? Okay, look at those thoughts. They're not actually what's happening. They're just sort of panics and worries and concerns that your brain is coming up with, your thoughts are coming up with. They're not real. But you're believing them. Yeah? I mean, okay. So there are some situations that you are in control of, okay? So something might be happening, and then you can go, well, actually, I can do something about, great, you can solve it. But if you can't solve it, and if you're not in control of it, then why are you worrying about it? Yeah, how many times have you, I don't know, you go in and get a blood test, and then the doctor calls and says, the doctor's ring, the receptionist speaks to you and says, oh, the doctor needs to see you regarding your blood test, right, in 3 days' time. And then you spend 3 days' time, and in that 3 days, you've condemned yourself to death, right? Oh my God, I've got this, oh my God, I probably got that, oh my God, the doctor's ringing me, and then 3 days later you go to the doctors and they say, oh, you need some more vitamin D. Yet you have allowed your thoughts to escalate, and you have built this massive story in your head about all the terrible things that might be happening to you, but they're not happening. we have to learn to let go. You know, it's so hard, I understand, especially when you've spent your whole life in this pattern. But if you can learn to let go, if you can learn to try and release control, you are only in control of what you are doing. Yeah, you're walking this path. You can't control what so-and-so's doing, thinking, saying as they come through this path and join you for a little bit. You're not in control of their actions. You are only in control of each step that you take. And when you can learn to release control and release the feel to need to control what others are thinking or doing or saying, oh, it's so freeing. Yeah, so freeing. You are you, and you are wonderful, and you are a whole person, and you don't need anyone or anything to complete you, because you are whole. And you're going to keep walking down your path one step at a time, and things are going to come in and things are going to go out, and you're going to accept those things that come in and out in your path, and you're going to release control. And eventually, if you can just get out of that constant spiral, so freeing. Mwah! I love you all very much. Do let me know in the comments. Let me know what you might be overthinking or over worrying about now. And we can see how we can help. Okay, take care. Bye.